So good afternoon. We've gone to an afternoon. I'm on my, I don't even want to tell you all how many cups of coffee I have. We're in the afternoon. I get to talk to Lauren McGraw, and I'm really excited. We've become friends recently, I've decided. Our kids go to the same school. She's super cool, and she does cool stuff just to make our community way more interesting. So Lauren, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Well, good. So Lauren has had a journey. You're Indiana born and raised, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So, Indiana born and raised, but had a really fun journey. I kind of hope she talks about it, but you do you. But now, and she's been in the food industry for a while, just like my husband has, right? In the industry, giving us all, what do we want to say? Culture and good things to eat and community and all of those things. But now she has been, for the past almost 4 years, give or take, the event director and concept manager of Bluebeard, which you said you are at now.
Yes.
I love that place. But now new to the city, Can. So you're doing the same role at Can. So you're kind of stretched a bit more thin. So tell us what you do.
I'm an event director and concept manager at the restaurants. I do other things outside the restaurants.
Yes.
But they brought me in a handful of years ago at Bluebeard to establish a private dining program. And they gave me the space and the grace as a new mom to build it up over a couple of months and tweak things. And it's been really, really fun and quite successful. And some of the same owners at Bluebeard have their hands in Can, which is a first-run independent art house cinema, and Abbi Merriss's second restaurant. So, and it's in the Windsor Park neighborhood. It has Abby's hand in it, full on, deep down through. Really quick because, Abby's such a brilliant cook, and she's a great mentor, and she brings up all of these wonderful young chefs, zero ego. She's a great person to work with. But, developing this menu at Can, she said, oh, well, it's going to change seasonally. That's not true. It changes every single day, just like Bluebeard. So we're printing menus and trying to reuse menus, but it's been a really great journey.
I love it because it opened, you opened right at that tail end of the pandemic. We're still in a pandemic. I don't want to act like we're not, but your industry was hit really hard. So not just a restaurant, obviously, but a movie theater, right? Lots of people and things. So how was that journey? And, obviously you're at the other side, because I swear to God, if I open Instagram one more time and see people be like, it's amazing, and sharing their plates, and all those photographers with like eating food as I'm sitting at home, probably eating leftovers. So jealous. It looks amazing. But how was that opening at that time?
Opening in August was tough. It was good. I'm glad we had the experience. Moving a little further back, we had our friends and family event on March 13th, 2020. So we were going into that day thinking, oh, this is weird, but we're still going to have the party. Like, we're getting like pings from schools and other restaurants around the country, and everything fell apart. So we went dark from March to August, and we had a really nice, slow opening. At first we were kind of nervous that we were going to get bombarded like Bluebeard did in 2012 when we first opened. But luckily we have had the space to tweak things and get things right, instead of like scramble and be like, okay, how do we troubleshoot this issue and this issue and this issue? So we've been open for 3 months. It's been really nice working with the nonprofit side of the business, because I've never dealt with that before. I've always been in restaurants, always been in for-profit, adventures, but it's been really humbling and something that I definitely want to continue on the journey of nonprofits.
Well, tell us what that is, because that's new to me too. So what is that nonprofit side?
So the nonprofit side is Indianapolis Film Project. So they are the owners of the building. They run the cinema side, they run the concessions. So we rent space from IFP, and we rent the restaurant side, the 2 private dining rooms, and the patio, and the kitchen.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. We'll have to link to all those things. So how did you get here? How did you get into this really great group, really great restaurant group, and really great community?
My husband and I, Oliver, we met at college in Bloomington. We were 23, and we were over Bloomington. We've been there for 5 years. We just happened to run into each other, and we said, F it, let's just leave. We'll figure it out. I'm a waitress. I can get a job wherever. And he was an academic. And so we moved onto his parents' boat, which was crazy. I can't believe they let us do that. 2 23-year-olds, like, okay. We moved onto this boat. We brought our dogs. We went down the Ohio River, the Mississippi River. I got jobs at diners. As we ran out of money, we would kind of hop from marina to marina. Yeah, and then we eventually got to New Orleans, where I sharpened my teeth in fine dining and kind of fell into private dining programs and learning about how to do that and how to do it well, and how to do this beautiful dance with clients and coworkers, and how to make rehearsal dinners and weddings and baby showers and engagements like really special for people. So time went on. It was time to move back to Indiana. We picked Indy because it was between where my parents lived and where his parents lived. And I was really actually bummed. I was like, oh, Indy. I fell in love with the city so hard. And it was like, too. I know. And you moved here in 2001, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm never living anywhere else. Like, I'm never moving. Like, this is my home. That is my house. This is where I'm raising our kids. And I was in private dining at a couple of fine dining restaurants downtown, the near North Side, and a friend of mine who'd been trying to get me to work at Bluebeard for years, like an opening would happen in the back of house, an opening would happen in the bakery. And like, that's just not what I do. I do private dining. And he called me 7 weeks postpartum with my first. He said, I found a job for you. It's here. You'll be perfect. Come interview. And I did. I don't know why. I was like, sure, I just had a baby like weeks ago, but I'm going to do it. And I came in and they knew that I had this brand new baby. I had one other interview. They hired me at 9 weeks postpartum, let me start whenever I was ready, paid me for the weeks leading up to my arrival, and they've been acting like that since the beginning, and have been so supportive. And I'm on my 3rd pregnancy. This is my 3rd baby that I'll have in this space.
See, this is why we support local businesses, because they take care of us, right? They take care of their people. And this is why we want to give them business and why we want to support our own community. And that is amazing, because I will tell you that I've had jobs that would never have happened ever in a million years. And it's just super beautiful. Industry. Yeah. And in the food industry. And I also love, one thing, I like about you anyway is it's a beautiful business and a great company to work for, but also like the joy of supporting like a female chef and, your glow of her. Like, I love that so much, which is one of the reasons I love talking to women, is because how much we support and lift up other women. So giant fan of all of that interview. So tell me, okay, so obviously pandemic and opening, all of that, but like, again, you had mentioned before, so mom of 2, 3rd one on the way, but, and going through homeschool, because we all did that together, and, having a little one at home and being in the food. And tell us, yes, some of that is struggle, and how was that for you, but where are you finding that joy now?
The struggle, I'm sure all moms know the struggle of homeschool and identity loss and trying to balance food, like work and home life in like a totally different and new way without support. A lot of people had support before who lost it all. And I had to take a step back for about 6 months just because childcare and school was not working. I'm pretty type A. So, you know, things were always changing. We didn't really know what we were doing. We pivoted to bring in Amelia's as a grocery store that really basically floated us and saved us. Thanks, Amelia's. We love you. But going back to work, I've been back here since January. And it's been so nice because I just showed up one day and I talked to Ed Batista and Abbi Merriss, and I was like, I love my kids, I love my home, I love my husband, but like, please can I just hang out like Tuesdays and Thursdays? Like, I don't care. I know it's too early to book parties. And they welcome me back with open arms. And I've found just so much more solace and appreciation for being a mom and being a working mom, because working here is a big part of my identity. Yeah. Especially postpartum. You know, this is my whole life. Yeah. You know, working here, being a mom. So I find a lot of joy being able to throw these parties. And I know it sounds maybe trivial, but like, I see the joy in my clients and that gives me joy. Yeah. And then I come home and like, I'm the happy mom, you know, like being a stay-at-home mom for me, nobody was happy. I wasn't happy. Yeah. The kids weren't happy. My husband wasn't happy. So being able to come back, and I keep saying like the support and leadership of Bluebeard, it's so magical. Yeah. We're able to like put people in places that let them shine. And I don't really see that in a lot of other industries, or even in this industry. Like, people get burnt out. Yeah. And I feel the opposite. I feel the opposite of burnout when I'm working here. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. So with that, you know, finding the joy and, you know, events coming back and filling your cup and, you know, all of that, what can the community do, right? What can the community do to show up? What would be your ask? I think I have a few asks. And it's not all monetary. It's not all like, come support your local, you know, restaurant. It's giving people a little bit more patience, allowing for not just the restaurant industry, but all industries that were affected by the pandemic and are continuing to be affected by the pandemic. This is hard for all of us. This is hard for the client, the guest, and the people who are pouring your coffee or putting up your drywall. Like, the ask is just patience, I think, you know? And I feel like that's all encompassing. I was like, well, I have more asks, but like, really, that's the umbrella ask, you know? Yeah, no, for sure. I will do the ask of people go support your local business. Yeah. But I love the ask of patience, because it's so true. It's, you know, because we're all on social media too, and you see all these horrible stories of, you know, people just being ungrateful or pushy or not showing grace. And so a little bit more grace would be amazing. I love this last question so much, and you're so prepared. Thanks. So you ready? Okay. Yeah. Oh, Lauren. So how do you want to leave your trays? I've been thinking about this since you sent me these questions. And I think even though motherhood doesn't identify me, you know, like, I think it's very important to keep your own identity outside of just not just being a mother, but being a mother. Yes. But I want to be able to stay open and stay supportive to other women in the industry. I just got an email a couple of weeks ago, maybe even last week, from a woman who's newly pregnant and works at a local restaurant, who wants to know like how I navigated maternity leave, how I negotiated paid time off. And like, I don't know who told her that I did that, but I did it, and I shared everything with her. Love it. You know, like, I want to share this information. I want to share my data. Like, I'm proud of that spreadsheet, you know, like, I put work into it, and I want it to help people be like, this is the graph, this is the data, this is what other independent restaurants are offering new mothers and maternity leave, and this is what like slow time back looks like, and payment structure. So to be able to share that information and to be open, like, it made my day to get that like random email, like, how did you do this? Can you help me? Yes, I can help you. Call me. I'll help you navigate maternity leave in an industry that's unheard of.
Yeah, completely. Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, legacy alone, that is incredibly huge. I mean, just the lifting up and the supporting of women just to navigate things we don't know. Because anyway, I mean, salary is a whole nother conversation anyway, about how transparent or how untransparent we are, and how underpaid women are, and just how to navigate that sort of thing. And what a beautiful gift to give to a complete stranger. It's amazing. And you are also involved in Indie Women in Food. So you have I mean, that is a great network of women to support women in the food industry. And it's incredibly wonderful. And we talked to Ashley Brooks, you also check out that one too. So Lauren, I'm so grateful for you for taking this afternoon with me before we got to pick up kids.
I know. Thanks, Jillian. This is great.
This is great. All right. Have a good one.
Bye.